Hello, princess. That's right, those are my cheeks. Yesterday, I made a video called I Need Help. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. If you watched till the end of the video, what did I say? This is just a filler video. I feel lazy. And I knew that a video like that is gonna do numbers. So on a day that I didn't want to stream or make any content, I made a video. But the amount of comments that came in with genuine support was so overwhelming that I thought to myself, I should make another well, yes and no. So I'm gonna read some of the top comments that I saw. There's a lot of helpful comments. There's a lot of meme comments, and some follow up in the mental stuff that's going through my mind. And yes, I have indeed got the ligma. If you didn't know, ask your mother how I got it. This is like a variation of post nut clarity. I got a bunch of comments right over here, and you know what? Post procrastination clarity. Yeah, no, I mean, okay, I said I was gooning, gaming, and napping. I didn't come to the realization after I nut. The realization was after I've done nothing but game, goon, and nap and woke up and realized, damn, it's like 8:30 p.m. on Saturday night. Everybody's probably just, hanging out and having fun, partying, whatever, and here I am just procrastinating, doing nothing, wasting my time. That's kind of it. It wasn't the gooning. Maybe it was. Maybe it was. GOT Games comes in. Don't worry, guys. He cut me out, but I was right there with him when he was recording this to keep him cheered up. Yup, shirtless too. Shameless. Is a grown ass man. Is a grown ass man with a wife and kids. Whole ass father and. Shit, you might have to get divorce court ready, man. Because it was true. Love you, Luke. Stand proud, Caw TV. You are productive. I try to be. Bro was about to die of overwork without employers. It's my isekai. How am I dying of overwork when I am my own employer? Because, and that's a good thing. It honestly is that, I love what I do so much that I hold myself accountable. And even though there's no one pushing me to do these things, that, I do it for the love of the game. That's it. Loki was expecting this to be Kaka tripping balls on mushrooms or something. No idea why Lamau. Fun fact, mushrooms is actually one of the few drugs that I've never actually tried. I don't know why. Like Molly, like MDMA, back in high school, college raves, those were kind of fun, but mushrooms, I don't know why I never tried it. Looks like burnout to me. You just needed some recharge time. It kind of is. It kind of isn't. Maybe I'm being a lazy piece of shit. Maybe I just want to make some excuses. Maybe I'm not actually burnt out. Bro got pre-nut clarity, honestly, as someone preparing for a competitive exam. It's relatable as fuck. Yeah, I think a lot of people, right? A lot of comments are coming in from the perspective of exams, right? They're all like, man, final exams, midterms, entrance exams, whatever. And it's like no matter how much they grind, they try to take a little bit of rest, and then a demon is in the back of your mind telling you, should you be resting? If you rest right now, what if this is the difference? What if other people right now are grinding harder than you and they are the ones that's going to come out on top because you chose to rest? And what I just said is a hypothetical that I think a lot of people, not everybody, those who are very ambitious, I'm not saying these group of people are better by any means, but I'm just saying that's how our brains work. That we are so determined and we're so fixated on these accomplishments or goals and just grinding and hustling that sometimes it consumes you in a wrong way. But that's the beautiful thing. When I think about work ethic, right? When I think about work ethic and what it takes to be great again, the pursuit of greatness, I do subscribe to the ideology of Zaitsu and Komiya from 100 meters. That's why that movie was so compelling, and I think a lot of people do. And what is that ideology? That it needs to be toxic. That it needs to be fucked up. That just a clump of cells, glorious forever. Again, later on, you realize that mentality, while it is going to yield results, at what cost? And there's more to meaning of life than just obsessing about something to the point that you become a ghoul. So it's a balance, right? But I genuinely do still subscribe to that ideology that if you truly want to be great at something, you need to obsess and be so toxic about it that it actually consumes you. But once you reach that state, you should have the awareness to be like, you know what? There's more to life than this. I'm proud of what I accomplished, and now let's take a step back and rethink and align our perspectives. Dude, take a week to think. Life is more than work. It's okay to hit the brakes sometimes. We will not abandon you because of that. So, this comment is false. What I'm trying to say is there's a lot of times where content creators will kind of come out and say their opinions about their mental health and how they're taking a break and blah 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 and say we're here for you. Cheap words. And I appreciate the words, right? I genuinely do appreciate the words, but people you got to look at the way they act, not how they, talk. Here's a random analogy. You ever see a streamer who is, focused on one specific topic and that's how they get their viewership and they try to, and a random chatter is like, hey, you should play this game. And they try to do variety content. Like three or four people are saying, you should play this game, we'll still watch. And you turn the game on and everyone leaves, right? Many moves in silence and you got to look at what the silent lurkers are thinking. And it's not even just like, I'm sure you might stay around, a couple of you, but there's a lot of people, again, that just wants the content. If someone else is out there to provide it for you, hey, that's business, man. And not only that, you are an individual, you are a person, but there's also the algorithm, this machine god that gives some people traffic and them don't. What if I took a long break and this was sending bad signals and some now, and now that like my videos won't even appear on your homepage, right? This is a thing that I talk about the shadow ban, right? How many times do I talk about the shadow ban and how insidious it is that there are clearly a demand for my content. People truly do want to watch my videos as seen in the analytics, but once the switch goes off, you don't even see the videos. And so it has nothing to do with if you're going to be there or not. If you don't even know I'm making the videos because the algorithm is refusing to push it to you, then it's kind of pointless, right? McDonald's food poison all over again. Those that know, that know. There was a time during Lord of the Mysteries last summer when I was popping off and I stopped making videos. Why? Because, bro, 5 in the morning, I got McDonald's breakfast. It opened at 5 a.m. And I think the workers were lazy and they were not locked in. And I got salmonella and I was shitting and puking. I was literally just. So I have the toilet right here, but I have a bathtub right next. I was doing projectile vomit like Squirtle, like fucking Blastoise, like Hydro Pump, while pooping at the same time. I'm getting a train to run at me by myself. It's a threesome of vomit and diarrhea and me. Great image to have. Oh my god, I do not wish that on my worst enemy. 7 days a week grind must be exhausting as fuck. Take care of your mental health, man. It is exhausting, but it's worth it. Like, everything is exhausting. And I would honestly argue that the work that I do is not even physically demanding as many of the other jobs that I had in the past, like line cook work or construction manual labor, landscaper, other painter, whatever stuff, right? Obviously, there's a different type of stress. This is what I'm talking about, mental fatigue and stress. It's like no matter what you do, no matter what you love, right? Let's say your job is literally playing video games. You love this video game, but if you play that game every day for like 6 to 8 hours, non-stop, you're gonna go crazy. It doesn't matter what you love. If you do it and do it and do it, that's the only thing you do, you will genuinely go crazy. Now, obviously, I would still prefer to play that video game than the other conventional jobs. Don't get me twisted. So I understand that the position that I'm in is such an amazing place that this is my problem. My problem is very insignificant, but still, it's fun to kind of verbalize and talk about these different perspectives. And many others can also relate to this catalog, this genre of mental stress and fatigue in their other avenues of life. It doesn't have to be content creation, it can be about many other things, right? Pink Cube coming in saying, it is both comforting and humbling to hear someone share these sort of thoughts that I usually only hear late at night echoing in my head, or after a fire nap plus goon combo, of course. Of course, of course. Personally, I've been really struggling choosing between negative feelings to motivate myself to work, like shame or guilt, versus positive feelings, genuine wish to do the work. It's just the age old question of if you motivate someone with the carrot that sticks, it's the reward or the punishment. Philosophically, I disagree with ever allowing or conjuring negative feelings towards yourself, even it is only used as a fuel source of action. Human life ought to be enjoyed. It ought to overflow with joy and positive expression. So your art requires you to suffer. You ought to not make such art. Yeah, there's a side of me that agrees with you for sure. But then again, life can't be all just rainbows and sunshine. I think that negative emotion to motivate yourself, the context depends. So if you just got cheated on or whatever, and you think that like your answer is to get jacked and to lock in, to prove others wrong, I think that's when I disagree. These motivations needs to be internal. So my point here is negative feelings are okay to utilize as a source of motivation to discipline yourself. But if it's not internal motivation, then you're going about the wrong way. So in that same context I just mentioned, rather than trying to prove the other people, like I'm gonna get all these muscles, I'm gonna get all these, this money and clout and whatever fame, and they'll be jealous. No, no, no. I would rather kind of turn it around and say, I deserve this. I am better than what they thought of me. And I know my value. And I'm going to work on myself and be a better person. I'm not going to do this for the other person. Fuck them, they don't matter. But I need to lock in and truly just take care of myself and be better for myself. And this is a very subtle but difference in that utilizing negative feelings. Positive feelings. So obviously when the new season hits, the algorithm changes or you get new viewership, it's so easy to make content. When things are going well, it's so easy to just do well, and you get constantly rewarded. Right now it's a very weird time where I'm still getting rewarded consistently, obviously not hitting new, breakthrough numbers, but maintaining what I've been given in the beginning of January, and I've been trying to really just not let that go. And usually the shadow ban will kick in 2 to 3 weeks, and I have no choice, and I can just kind of chill and wait until the next season, but right now it's different. And it sounds so privileged, right? Like, what am I fucking talking about? Like, oh, things are going so well and you're pressured. I am, because every day I have to perform and to maintain that level. And it's such an amazing place to be at, but the mental stress and the tax that comes with it, again, it's a curse and a blessing. And constantly you're put on that treadmill every single day to perform. And the money coming in, the viewership coming in, it's great. I will never, right? I will always acknowledge this. I would not have it any other way. But I'm just trying to say life isn't just all rainbows and sunshines. There are negatives with the positives. And I'm trying to discuss these things with you, right? Some of the other stuff that Pink Cube said is the solace with this line of thought is that I think anything can be motivated negatively and can also be motivated positively. The idea of the grind has taken root in culture to the point idolizing working yourself to the bone. Maybe the same fruits of labor can be obtained without having to whip yourself over it constantly. Like hell, if you have to make yourself miserable doing it, why are you even doing it? Do what doesn't make you feel miserable. Yeah, at this point, if you're forcing yourself to do something, you are approaching it wrong. So my current problems is I honestly love what I'm doing. The fact that I get to just watch my favorite shows, commentate, give my opinions, the fact that I can commentate about so many various topics, world politics, random events, internet drama, drama slop, right? And people still care about my opinions, that's a great feeling. I love what I do. But again, there comes fatigue with it. If you are and here's the other thing. Back when I was like a software engineer or just like other academic stuff, I did not love that. Who the fuck loves that? I mean, some people genuinely love coding. I enjoyed it, but enterprise software engineer coding is completely different from making fan projects, pet projects, and just doing up of yourself, right? So when I'm doing things that I know that I don't like, but I forced to do it for a paycheck, that is the worst fucking thing. And that, again, is the unfortunate reality for many people that exist in capitalism and why I feel so privileged that I can monetize my hobbies and continue grinding. Don't get it twisted. I do genuinely love what I do. It's just sometimes, man, it's like, man, again, it's the same thing of you love playing that video game, you love eating ice cream, try eating ice cream every fucking day. you're gonna go insane and you need to switch it up. So the answer is again, just don't be a bitch, or just switch it up. Have something to kind of change the scene. I'm gonna be real though. This whole attempt I've tried to internalize or motivating myself purely positively is far from perfect. Yeah, because you can't just always be positive. That's life, right? You have to, and you can't control it either. I do a lot of what's it called, mental training. I like to really indulge in philosophical, ideological commentary, mental health, and just all that. And one of the most important things is that you control how you feel. Sounds crazy, I know, but just keep up with me, all right? No matter what happens in life, you can't control really the shitty things that happens in life. You get a phone call, something really bad's happening, an emergency, family member, hospital, whatever, right? Some shit just happens. You can't control that. But what you can control is how you react to that. And this is a very powerful tool. It sounds like some bullshit, snake oil salesman stuff. I know a lot of people don't really like this mental, just like mental game stuff. But I do think that your attitude, your perspective, and your mentality, whatever your approach, kind of determines how well you'll do. If you're gonna go in something closed-minded, you're gonna fuck up. You have to be open-minded and truly understand how to control your just emotional maturity, your capability to control your feelings, and it's such a strong tool to understand that no matter what happens, the way you react is something that you control. Your reflection, right? Everything that you see is a reflection of yourself. If you're convinced that you're an unlucky person, if you're convinced that you are, going to be doomed and everything is against you, then your brain, your monkey brains, our monkey brains will literally format such that it tries to seek those patterns. And you'll say, you know what? I truly am just unlucky. So do you know what I do? I tell myself I'm the fucking chosen one. I tell myself that why not me? Rather than the delusion of scarcity that so many people subscribe to because they see that job market sucks, the economy is booming but I'm not getting anything. Things seems to be getting worse and worse. AI this, AI that. Yeah, and you can focus on that and that's real. But guess what? Your life is not going to change. These are external things that you have no control over. What can you control though? Your individual actions and your mentality. So I tell myself the delusion of abundance that it is possible. Why not me? And the more that you continuously think in these positive, affirming ways, the more that your brain will change to find patterns to fit that narrative. It's a self fulfilling prophecy. It's such a strong tool. And it's so hard to just flip a switch. It doesn't just happen overnight, right? This kind of thing, confidence is built step by step. You need to have some sort of proof, right? You have a goal you've set out to accomplish. Step by step, you do these things and you're locked in, and it feels good that you got to this new stage, and it's like a snowball. It's momentum builds on. But if you can't even get that first step in, then no, it's not gonna get anywhere, right? So it's truly a powerful tool that you have in your mind. Everybody has this. It's just few would ever even want to use it because they think it's just bullshit and pointless. What else is PinkCube saying? Talking about, you only trying to use the positives, right? I'm gonna be real though, this whole attempt, right? I could continue to kill all the internal guilt, shame I have towards that, but it necessitates finding positive motivators to replace the negative ones. And wow, is that way harder to do than I thought it would be. Reminded me of an Orwell quote saying, "Writing a book is horrible, exhausting struggle, like a long bout with some painful illness. One would never undertake such a thing if one were not driven by some demon whom one can neither resist nor understand." Of course, Orwell understood, the prize author and anime reactors are basically the same thing. Very aware, true. TLDR, maybe try to find whatever is motivating you positively and reinforce focus on these motivators instead of relying on internalized guilt and shame. I'd imagine that better headspace would also overflow into better content as well. Even if it's just silly anime content, fuck it, do it well, and do it in a way that is true to yourself. Dub mans, dub kaka, dub nap plus gooning combo. PinkCube, very enlightened, very well said, and I think that at the end of the day, it's we're not supposed to have a perfect solution, and this is something that's very liberating. That the world has so many problems, and that there is no perfect solution, but it's our attempts to have a practical solution. You can't always be happy, right? And you can't always be sad. it goes up and down. What do we say in JoJo's part one with the Bruford thing, right? I think we're talking about how because you feel happiness, you can feel sadness, but because you feel sadness, you can also feel happiness, and it's a beautiful thing. So whenever you're just in like a rut, things are going bad. It's a bad arc. It's but hey, it's gonna go up soon. And as long as you have that like ambition and motivation to keep going, paddling, keep running, right? That it's gonna turn out well. And of course, you gotta pick something that you enjoy. If you're pushing yourself to do something you hate and using all these negative emotions to build up on that, again, it just reminds me of school. That's never gonna go well. I feel like the closest that I've actually reached this state of self actualization, right, is when I'm popping off making content, when I'm doing what I love to do, and I'm just in that zone, and people are loving the content, and the also the metrics, the numbers are proving with undeniable results that we're growing. These are moments where I'm like, wow, it's all fucking worth it. It just feels like recently I've gotten spoiled. It's honestly that I've gotten so spoiled of all the numbers coming in, and now I'm just creating these random stress in my head of like I need to keep this shit going. It's not that big of a deal. If things go bad, then we just pick it back up, and I prove myself over and over again during those shadow bans that I can do it. Right? It's have that mentality and push forward. Next comment. That's why there's no strange fake reaction tonight, and that's not gonna be another one today either. I didn't go live today either. I gotta say, this honestly, I remember who summoned pre-reincarnated Rudy is gooning so hard. Motherfuckers comparing me to pre-reincarnated Rudy. This is fucked up. 450 views in just 8 minutes, something even Jujutsu Kaisen can't pull. The reason why this type of videos does really well, and don't get me wrong, if it truly was that easy to make these kind of videos, then I would constantly make these videos, but it's impossible, right? This is probably going to be the last one. It's because a couple of things. Anime reactions, again, are inherently filtering out people because you have to have watched that specific anime and have been caught up to the specific episode to enjoy the content, right? So this type of content is general. It's also very clickbaity. I need help. What's going on? A very ominous thumbnail, right? It gets people thinking, right? So by the nature of you not filtering out people and making general content that everyone can enjoy, with a little bit of a like controversy of like what's going on with this guy, right? Like it's why people are clicking. But if you can't do that every time, people get used to it. It's kind of like Usopp saying the pirates are here. The pirates are here. How often are they gonna fucking just listen to that and keep it going? It's gonna get fatigued over time, bro. Is this the tradition? Is this an OnlyFans preview? No, this is not an OnlyFans preview. Although a lot of people have been begging for that content. What is that on his neck? Does he have the Joestar birthmark? I got the ligma. Ask your mother. He's depressed and not feeling good. I would say holy parasocial, but honestly, I'm asking for it. Am I feeling good? I'm feeling all right. It's like I'm feeling okay. I wouldn't say I'm depressed though. Not even close. It was just one day where I just felt just tired and I don't want to do anything. So I just kind of made that video. But a lot of people kind of thought that I have like a very I don't know. People think that I'm like really depressed and like I'm pushing myself even though I don't want to. Like don't get me wrong. I only do this because I love to do what I do. Again, I have no boss, right? Sorry, something's in my eyes. I have no boss, right? I have no employer, yet I am overworking myself. Why? Because I fucking love what I do. It's that simple. Like, I'm not depressed. I'm very happy, honestly. I'm honestly, some days are just so astonishing that, like, damn, like, I actually did all this and that, and it's keep going, and I can't begin to tell you all the positive feelings that's come from this and how much more that I want to accomplish. But not everything can be the sunshine, and rainbows. I just want to kind of tell you some of the other stuff too. Imagine if Cobb was your boyfriend and you just smashed, and this was the POV you got of him just yapping after his post nut clarity. I'm sure there's good content too. This is probably an hour long. You think I just burden the people that I hook up with my backstory? No. That's fucking crazy. Aeon of Horrors coming in. Yo, this guy, total content creator, underrated. Unfortunately, he picked a niche that was too niche. What a niche anime, but he does very specific total content around that, and he does really well too. I have a lot of respect for this guy. Aeon of Horrors coming in. Caw. Let me be real with you. You've done really well for yourself as a creator and made something you love into a sustainable business. Bro's doing tricks off of it. Special grade? Itadori Yuji has never seen this level of dick glazing before. No, no, no. Jokes aside. Yeah, I think that I have figured out, a pretty decent business proposition and like a workflow. Every day I have a system that allows me to keep pumping content at scale. I've definitely have a system which is, respectable and it's delivering results. It's nice. That is no doubt the result of consistency and sacrifice, but I'm a firm believer in having balance in life is the key to true success. I agree too. Health, friends, relationships, holidays, etc. I sacrificed a lot for a number of years and I felt like I was behind on life in so many aspects. I felt a failure despite, growing my channel and making a part-time job. I took long break now and I have found balance. Great for you, man. I mean, I'm in a better place as a result and I can work on content while also enjoying other aspects of life. Don't let your dreams crush you. True. And you know what? Like everything, it should be balanced, right? Balance is the key. And balance is not a pussy way out. I think what is a pussy way out is convincing yourself with these lies that obsessing about something and just brute forcing it is the only way. No, no, no. I think finding balance is not, half-assing it either. I think finding balance is actually really, really difficult and optimizing. Everything is in a spectrum. And there is this nice, balanced, optimized part of the spectrum where you're being productive, but also making sure everything is well tuned, so that you can continue doing it. It's not a marathon. It is a marathon. Sorry, it's not a sprint, right? But at the same time, again, I have this weird fixation of this hustle ideology where I need to be obsessed. I need to be toxic about it. If I truly want to be that great, then I will sacrifice everything for this one thing. Have you ever seen Whiplash? It's kind of like that, right? The whole movie is talking about this guy who's in the pursuit of greatness at the cost of his entire fucking life. And at the end of the movie, it's a very, very questionable thing of like, was it really worth it or not? 100 meters, we already talked about that. Another example, what was the other example I want to give? It's not coming to me right now. But basically, I really find some sort of romanticism in giving everything to such an extreme extent and being rewarded for it and feeling like I'm special, that like I'm different, that all you have your friends and parties and vacations. Me, I'm a fucking Sigma. I need you to understand I'm very aware of how I am sounding right now, and I am emotionally mature enough to understand and distance myself from that attitude. I'm not completely consumed by it, but at the same time, I'm very enticed by it. And it's also not very helpful that like this type of mindset has allowed me, these results, right? I'm not saying that like my relationship with my family, my girlfriend, and everything is so strained that it's bad, right? But I know that I could definitely do more for them. I'm a very selfish person, and the other example I want to bring, sorry, was ReZero. ReZero Roswaal. Roswaal in season 2, his mentality of sacrifice everything for just one thing. And he talks to Natsuki Subaru about how you're not even at the starting point of your resolve. And I was like, damn, fucking chills, bro. Fucking chills. But at the same time, I understand that it's very toxic and negative. And Subaru in that story arc, what happens? He, I think, like, realizes that, like, no, there is a different way to do this. I don't have to sacrifice everything to protect one thing. And the straight bet gamble is then initiated, which turns into a great mechanic of not abusing, this power. TLDR, fixating on these negative things, fixating on, just hustle, grind, sacrifice. To a certain degree, I think it is necessary. It depends on your goals. And if you truly want to be great at something, I think that it absolutely is necessary. But do you have to go for number one? Is there a part where you can just kind of settle for somewhere in between? To me, because I know how incompetent I am, it's like, again, this toxic loop of me having a goal that I set for myself, but me never actually accomplishing it. And then me feeling, but I have such a high ego. And this makes me jealous and angry and frustrated. And it's like a toxic loop. And it's like a superpower, but it's also a very negative superpower, right? So I got to learn how to hone in on that and basically just put it in a more productive way where I don't break. Because, like, all these results are great. But if you break and you can't do this shit over again, right? What's the fucking point? It's kind of like the gym stuff too. A lot of people like overwork themselves thinking like this is the only way. It's not. You need to have rest days. You need to take care of yourself. In fact, if you get injured because you don't take rest days and other stuff, you're gonna set your progress way back compared to the guy that's have a well balanced thing and take that concept into this. If I break and have such a psychological burnout that I don't even want to go live again, well, shit. What the fuck was the point of this all from the beginning, right? I'm not even close to that, by the way. I'm just being a lazy piece of shit lately. Acting is the single most consequential thing anyone could do with their life. This line from Wonder Man comes to mind. He doesn't mean that being actor is better than being a doctor, engineer, or anything real professions. Rather, he's saying what he totally believes in because he's an actor. Whether actor or reactor, as long as you are affecting other humans, you are indeed changing more lives and contributing to society as much as those with real jobs are. I think this guy's trying to say like, "Hey, buddy, your anime reactions matter a lot." Okay, that's a lot of mental gymnastics, but come on, let's get real, right? All I'm doing is entertaining people, and that's it. It's not that serious. A garbage picker, a janitor has more, utility and usefulness in society than me. I'm just a court jester where you wanna, come by and have some laughs after you have a hard day. That's my purpose, and maybe there's something to, say about that. 47-year-old man talks about missing anime reactions in bed. Absolute peak. True. I worry about you. If you keep grinding, you're not going to have anything to give. You need at least one day off a week just to be out from pressure. I've seen two men who went hard for 7 days. What? You see two men going hard for 7 days a week for extended periods? What they doing, bro? One burnt out physically, the other I am trying to rescue from mental, emotional, and spiritual burnout. Take time out just to stare off into space and daydream. Oh yeah, I don't want to take a day off. Like I'm not. How to explain this? I have so much fun with what I do, and I have honestly a pretty decent, healthy schedule that like I don't need to, nor do I want to take a day off. There's some days where things just get out of hand, right? Like yesterday or today, where I'm just like, man, fuck, it's been so long that I just kind of want to decide. Basically, my goal is I want to keep going. I want to give it my all. I don't want to have days off to the point that I start to feel certain ways. And then maybe I'll take a day off or something, right? But I don't want to have like a scheduled day off. I just want to keep going and keep going and keep giving until it's like, all right, I think I need to tap out now. Think about it like this. Incorporating rest days into your schedule periodically is just another goal to achieving this. You said it yourself, there's an unrealistic perfect balance between work and rest that's hard to achieve. The more you come to terms with the fact that your current strategy will have negative long-term effects, though, and that you've already secured yourself a loyal base, there is more incentive for you to occasionally relax and do some machine maintenance. I agree. Shit isn't easy, but using your logic to frame these rest days as a win is the best to overcome that crappy feeling. Yeah. And another parallel, probably even more relatable for you, is the movie Whiplash. No, I just talked about it, right? Yeah, absolutely. That movie is just very open-ended conclusion of was it really worth it to sacrifice everything, your girlfriend, your family, your health for this one fucking thing? Was it worth it, right? Again, it's an answer that I don't have, but just something that I romanticize. And don't worry, like I as much as I keep going hard, I do have a pretty decent way of balancing it. You're gonna think I'm crazy, but it's not like I'm alive for 6 to 8 hours a day. Sometimes I'm only alive for like 4 to 5. It's not that difficult, and honestly, it gives me a sense of purpose. And I get depressed if I don't go live. There's also that. Everybody needs and deserve a rest. Just take your time to charge. That's what I'm doing right now. Rest day is very important. Should not be skipped. Rest well and pick up charge. Agreed. Hey man, I'm glad you at least feel comfortable sharing with us. We're all strangers. I made that video just to get some clicks. But thank you, I appreciate it. But we are still your community, and we're here for you. Also, the thing where you said that the feeling that you are wasting your time when you're not working or doing something you believe to be productive is real. And although I don't know a way to stop these thoughts either, but at least I want you to know that these kind of pressure we put ourselves to is actually very common. Also, we are here for you. Your content plays a big part, but you're the GOAT when it comes to reviews. Either way, rest up, my man. Yeah, I think a lot of people, right? Very ambitious, productive people feel guilty if they take some time off. The best way to combat this, I think, is just what's it called? It's do a little bit. Yeah, I think so many people focus on like trying to do everything all at once. No, just a bit by bit, right? Like you feel so pressured to go to the gym or whatever, just take a walk. That's it, right? Like so many people try to like think that they have to do everything in one go. No, 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 no. In fact, that might just crash and burn. You have to take just a bit by bit, step by step, right? Just to do a little bit. And just the act of doing a little bit, right, will make you feel productive. And you're like, you know what? I wasn't completely wasted. And that's how you kind of get rid of that demon in the back of your head and be consistent with it. Post nut clarity hit bro so hard. It's not even post nut clarity. Bro's on his 100 meters Komiya arc. Hope he finds his Togashi. I think I am my own Togashi too. I think bro is injured or something. Can someone can explain to me what happened to him? I'm on limited mobile data now, so I can't watch this in full. Gooned so hard he came. He gooned to a femboy and needed our help to make him normal again. Tried or not in mood or lazy. Gemini. He got the ligma. He got the ligma. Get better soon. Bro's in a workaholic. I am. What other stuff is there? Other people kind of expressing their opinions about their entrance exams and how much they can relate. This is 100% relatable, understandable issue. If people are even able to slightly understand their mindset, just take days off. Yeah. Workaholic this, workaholic that. Monkey King deserves a break. Kaka parallels with Komiya. Maybe, yeah. Happens to, with me and I'm a fresh university student. Maybe I'm too strict about myself. Yeah, it's like the anxious stuff, right? It's like a very weird loop of like you force yourself to do better by grinding, but that might actually kind of work backwards and you get bad grades and then you force yourself to grind harder. I was in that loop in university. I understand that shit, bro. I understand that shit. And there's a lot more people just kind of just expressing their opinions about that, this and that, and I do appreciate it. TLDR, I'm just looking at some any other really interesting comments at the very end. I'm pretty sure I read like pretty much goddamn fucking everything, man. But I feel blessed. I feel extremely blessed not only to be obviously in this position where I can monetize my hobbies, that I can be a content creator and thrive doing what I love to do and, just have all these privileges that many people wish for, right? This isn't me just flexing on you saying I'm better than you. This is me saying that, like, wow, like, I actually got to this point. That, like, after all that grind and sacrifice, that, like, I'm finally at this point. And the most important thing at this point is to obviously keep it going, but not to burn out and crash and let it all just kind of disappear. I am blessed that there are so many people that are disinterested in this kind of topic. So many people came out. It's got like almost 20,000 views now. What an insane thing. And a lot of the people they're from is also just from my within community. If you don't believe me, right? Here's some of the stats. I know it's inverted, but this is subscribe to not subscribe at the very bottom. 75-25 split off of a video that has like 17K views. That many people are that like into what I do and appreciate what I do, and I just feel so privileged and blessed. I'm not gonna let this go to my head though. Remember, right? The moment that you let all the glaze, and this isn't really glaze, it's just words of like support, right? But when I talk about how I never let this shit go to my head and how I've created this mental health to keep grinding no matter what, so the haters don't get into my head. At the end of the day, it's all about perspective, right? Taking some time off, understanding what other people have to go through in their daily lives, and how out of touch that I might have become, right? Once I but there's also it's like you can use that logic to say, man, look at the homeless people outside. You got a fucking job. You got a 9 to 5 job and there's homeless people outside fucking dying. You should be grateful. I think that's toxic. I think this constant comparison of look someone worse than you to make yourself feel better about what you have. But you should take a moment to kind of like reflect on your life and be grateful, right? And be happy that you have what you have. And I am very privileged. I am very grateful. And I want more. I want to do better for myself. I want to show you that I can do more. And tomorrow, we're going to get locked in. We're going to get back on the horse, baby. And we're going to keep making content. And that's pretty much it. If anyone ever feels this kind of pressure and stuff, again, I think the answer is step by step, right? Just don't try to do everything. Set goals, but like have small incremental things that you can do to achieve those goals. And if you have fun with that, right? You also have to obviously pick something that's fun. Pick something that's fun, a goal that you want to accomplish, and find little incremental steps that you can pursue every day, bit by bit, and then it becomes a cycle, right? Like all of this shit didn't just happen overnight. This is a slow building process, and the snowball gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And the longer that you do this, the easier it is to keep doing it. That's why I'm able to just keep up pumping out this content at this scale. And a lot of people are like, how can you do this? This didn't just happen overnight, right? I've created a strong community of people that likes this certain type of content. All those people are suggesting different types of videos and stuff, and we're kind of sampling and providing my commentary. I make videos on that, and then it grows, and more people are incentivized and want to show up, and it's like a whole process. So at the end of the day, I got nothing to fucking complain about. I'm just being a lazy piece of shit, making another video like this, and now I'm gonna go pick up some more fast food, get high, and enjoy my night. And tomorrow, we get back at it. See you later. Bye bye.